There's a certain calm you notice in people who know they're healthy. Not people who post gym selfies every day, not people who talk nonstop about diets, supplements, or cold showers. I'm talking about the quiet kind of healthy. The kind you don't notice at first, but once you do, you can't unsee it. They move differently through life. They don't rush conversations. They don't panic when plans change. They don't collapse emotionally over small inconveniences. And no, it's not because life treats them better. It's because of how their mind relates to their body. See, people who know they're healthy don't check their health constantly. They're not Googling symptoms at 2 a.m. They're not obsessively asking, is this normal? They're not scanning their body for signs of danger. Why? Because their nervous system isn't constantly asking for reassurance. Psychologically, that's the first big difference. Their body feels like a safe place to live in. Most people live inside their body like it's a ticking time bomb. Every ache feels suspicious. Every tired day feels like something is wrong. But healthy people, they trust their baseline. If something feels off, they notice it, calmly, not dramatically, not catastrophically. That trust alone reduces stress more than any supplement ever could. And here's something people don't talk about enough. People who know they're healthy don't confuse discomfort with danger. They understand the difference between I'm uncomfortable and I'm unsafe. That's huge. They know hunger doesn't mean collapse. They know soreness doesn't mean injury. They know a bad night of sleep doesn't mean their life is falling apart. Their brain doesn't hit the red alert button every time the body speaks, because psychologically they've learned something, early or through experience. The body communicates, it doesn't threaten. That creates a completely different relationship with pain, fatigue, and stress. Another thing you'll notice, they don't over-identify with their habits. They don't say things like, I am my diet, I am my routine, I am my discipline. They use habits, they don't worship them. If they miss a workout, they don't spiral. If they eat badly one day, they don't punish themselves. If they rest, they don't feel guilty. Why? Because their self-worth isn't tied to performance. That's a psychological marker of health most people overlook. Unhealthy minds attach identity to control. Healthy minds attach identity to balance. They know consistency beats intensity, emotionally and physically. And here's something subtle but powerful. People who know they're healthy don't constantly seek validation for it. They're not waiting for compliments. They're not arguing online about what's right. They're not trying to convert everyone around them. Their confidence is internal. Psychologically, this means their brain isn't using health as a defense mechanism. A lot of people chase health because they're afraid of aging, afraid of death, afraid of losing control. Healthy people accept fragility. They don't deny it. They don't obsess over it. They coexist with it. That acceptance reduces anxiety massively. Another major difference? They allow recovery without shame. Rest isn't laziness to them. Sleep isn't weakness. Slowing down isn't failure. Their nervous system understands cycles. Push, rest, adapt, repeat. No panic, no guilt, no drama. This mindset protects them from burnout more than any productivity hack. And emotionally, people who know they're healthy are better at emotional regulation, not because they suppress feelings, but because their body supports their emotions instead of fighting them. When your sleep is decent, your nutrition is stable, your movement is regular, your emotions don't feel like emergencies. Sadness feels like sadness. Stress feels like stress. Anger feels like anger, not chaos. That's why healthy people seem emotionally mature even when they're not trying to be. Their body gives their mind space to respond instead of react. And here's one of the most overlooked traits. They're present, not in a spiritual quote on Instagram way, in a physical way. They eat without rushing, they breathe without forcing, they listen without constantly checking out. Their mind isn't always 10 steps ahead because their body isn't screaming for attention. Most anxiety isn't mental, it's physiological noise. When that noise is lower, presence becomes natural. Finally, and this matters a lot, people who know they're healthy don't fear losing it as much as others think. They respect their body, they care for it, but they don't live in terror of decline. Because psychologically, they've built resilience, not obsession. They know they can recover. They know they can adapt. They know they can rebuild. That belief alone reduces stress hormones, improves immune response, and stabilizes mood. So, health at its core isn't just about numbers, habits, or routines. It's about trust. Trust in your body, trust in your recovery, trust in your ability to respond instead of panic. And once someone has that trust, you can see it in how they walk, how they speak, how they handle life. Quiet, grounded, unbothered. Not perfect, just healthy.